Hey everybody, welcome to another great episode of Panicking, podcast where we look at anxiety with a comedy lens. I'm Andrew Chavone.
I'm Steven Rogers.
We're talking really fast because we're running out of time on the video, but we have a lot of great topics. Steven talks about opening for Brian Regan in Richmond, Virginia, and...
I did some Hershey, Pennsylvania jokes that, well, you'll hear about it.
Oh yeah, he also went to Hershey. He had a bus accident, or incident.
I almost had an accident during the incident.
And a clean pair of shorts.
Great reference.
All right, we're going to get through it. So,
Ray Finkel.
What?
Ray Finkel.
Ray Finkel, yeah.
You talked about a theater gig.
Yeah, the anxiety of riffing on a room and being in that when people think you're doing something suspicious. And we also get into the submitted topic of eye contact and is it hard for us and how do you do it?
Yes, and a listener went through all of our episodes and we give her a nice little shout out and we read some of the reviews. So please, give us some reviews on the pod and we'll read them on the episode.
And we get through Ronnie's thing, how to deal with a child going through depression.
Yes.
So check out that. Check out, subscribe, Patreon, 4 bonus episodes for $5 a month. The deal of the century.
That's right. And check us out on YouTube. Share anything, whatever way you listen to the podcast or consume the podcast, please share it.
Yeah, and we'll repost it. We'll repost everything. And keep sending the love, everyone. Happy Halloween. Goodbye.
My heart starts beating really fast. I'm like sweating and trembling.
Me too.
Am I gonna die?
Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the podcast. I'm Steven Rogers.
I'm Andrew Chavone. Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you, too, man.
How are you? So what's going on with you?
What do you mean?
You sound congested. I was worried about you when I came in.
Yeah, so I was like, I'll save it for the pod, because it's a pretty interesting thing to talk about because, I don't have a lot of extended family left. I have, literally one uncle and maybe, an aunt somewhere and,
You don't know where she is.
I have some cousins. Oh, all I have are cousins, really.
Really?
Yeah. The descendants from the uncles and aunts that passed away.
Right.
They're still around. That was a bad move. I shouldn't have done that right now. So, I shouldn't have just sipped my coffee right now.
It was dramatic effect.
So, they're all Italians, and my uncle, my brother's dad, Andy.
Yeah.
He turned 70. So, I never see these guys. It was 2 years because of COVID. Go down to Philly because that's where they're all from. And first of all, when you haven't seen your family in 3 years,
yeah,
you are definitely that old uncle. Because my cousins have kids, and the last time I saw them, they were 14.
Right.
Now they're 19 and 20.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I didn't know who they were. I didn't recognize them. Because last time I saw them, they're just playing video games in the corner.
Right.
And then I went up to them and I went, oh my God, you're Luke. I haven't seen you in so long. You've grown.
Now you're saying all the stereotypical uncle things.
And then I stopped myself and I said, oh, sorry. When I was your age, people would say that to me.
You even got in the when I was your age.
Yeah, I did totally just was in a loop. And then the guy was, oh, it's okay. I'm sure when I'm your age, I'm going to tell somebody's son that too.
You want some pocket candy?
When I'm back in my day, Coca-Cola was 50 cents for a can, and you had to pay to make a phone call. It's like, all right, whatever,
whatever, loser,
whatever. You dementia patient.
We had Snapchat, not TikTok.
Yeah, you remember MySpace? Top 8.
Why don't you give me some space?
Why don't you give me some space, old man? Get out of here. But it's dramatized because of COVID, because I haven't seen these people in 2 years. Then I hadn't seen them in 2 years or 3 years. So now it's bloop, like Pokemon when you use all the rare candies.
Butterscotch.
Butterscotch. Halloween. Candy corn. So his plan was, I guess he read. I don't know where he heard about this.
Who's playing? Your uncle?
My uncle's birthday plan was to have a thing called a penultitude or pontitude, where you get served 20 courses throughout the day.
Oh my God!
starting at 12, it ended at 11 p.m. 12
Perfect
p.m.
for your fasting.
12 p.m. 11 p.m. Yeah, the anti-fast.
The slow burn.
The slow burn, and they're all like these ridiculous foods, like a Scotch egg, which I never even heard of. Have you ever heard of that?
I've heard of it. I haven't had it.
It's egg and a sausage.
Oh, okay. That sounds better than.
Oh, what did you think it was?
Scotch egg just sounds like a gross egg.
All the different eggs sound gross.
True, hard boiled. I pictured hard boiled when you said Scotch egg. Honestly, like that gross sort of thing.
Well, it was kind of hard boiled, and then it was wrapped in sausage, and then breaded, and then it was deep fried. I don't know.
I have heartburn hearing.
I know. I did too. Eating it.
So you're only allowed one of these per person?
You're technically allowed, but then they have like an overflow table, and I went over there in the middle, eating more eggs. And they're like, "What are you doing?" There's like 15 more foods coming. I'm hungry now. But then it was great because I'm talking to like a cousin. They think I'm super old, and then like they're like, "Oh, the short ribs are ready." I'm like, "Oh, great." And then they leave because they're gonna eat it, and the conversation's over. Like every time the food's ready.
Oh, so 20 times during this family gathering, you get saved.
I get reset. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember we were saying when I went to that college reunion, I was like, they need a speed dating. This was like the speed dating.
Oh, cool. You're in what grade now? Great. That's awesome. What do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, perfect. The Scotch egg is here.
The Scotch egg. Saved by the egg.
Man, I was almost cooked. Thank God that rib is.
Oh man, yeah, that story was a slow burn. Speaking of slow burn, here's the pastrami. Or the brisket, I mean.
Risk it for the brisket.
Risking it for the brisket it.
Wow.
So, and then in the middle, we had a shot of a thing called Fernet.
Oh.
You ever have that?
I haven't had it, but isn't that like super strong?
I didn't know what it was. Yeah, it was so strong, you don't even taste it because I feel like it's burning your taste buds off. And we had like, 12 courses or whatever of all this random stuff.
It's like when the chicken's head cut off and it's still running around. It has no idea what it did.
Yeah, the chicken's head is just like looking at the sky and it's like, it's pretty relaxing. Its body's like running around. That was like my stomach and my brain.
So you take a shot of this. How big's the glass?
It's like a regular shot glass, but for some reason it's so hard to shoot. I'm just like sipping it like a weirdo and
like a martini.
Like a martini. And then like it really made you hungry again. It dissolved all the food that was in your stomach.
Yeah, oh my God! Like a wildfire.
It just was like
through it.
Yeah, slash and burn.
Fire sale in your stomach.
Everything must go in the toilet.
So you're hungry again after one shot.
Yeah, they bring out more food. This time it was salmon that they cooked on the grill, and I don't remember, lamb chops.
Mm-hmm. Man, all of Noah's Ark was killed for you to.
Yeah, really.
Then we had caribou and ostrich.
yeah, 2 by 2. And we could have survived a flood, if that was if his house was made out of cubits and pitch.
Oh man!
And then Yeah, when I was growing up, this guy was like the richest family member I knew. Like he had a swimming pool, no one else did.
Right.
Indoor or in ground.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
I had relatives that had the above ground, you know,
Sure.
but that wasn't that impressive. And then so he was my brother's dad, and then my brother's
Your dad's
my
brother.
dad's brother.
Sam's your uncle.
My
huh?
brother's dad said the same thing. You mean your dad? Well, so he had a brother, you know, this guy Ron, who had a in-ground swimming pool, and I was like, man, this guy's rich. And then and he had this other brother named Gary who just like lived in the woods.
Sure.
He like tried to retire at 40, so he tried to cut all of his expenses down to like zero. So he like literally lived in the woods. He really
Tried to retire is such a sad phrase.
tried to retire, and then we would see him. He would give us like $1 for our birthday, you know, presents, and we'd be like, thanks.
Yeah, his wrapping paper was leaves.
Probably was. I think it was other wrapping paper he like saved from the previous Christmas.
He took from neighbors' cabins trash.
Yeah. Ew, oh wow, Glade. The Glade wrapping. His cards were just like, you know, the Publisher's House clearinghouse, but he wrote like crossed out his name, wrote out your name.
Yeah, and every year you're like, oh, I could have won some fabulous prize.
I could. It could be me. Yeah. So yeah. So in my mind, that he's super rich, even though I don't know how he's just a doc. You know, this Uncle Ron, he's just a doctor or whatever. But he had like this lavish meal that I felt like I was in the colonial like aristocracy or something.
Sure.
Yeah, I felt. I was like, wow, this is how rich people live. They
Yeah.
eat all day.
The cousins are feeding you grapes.
But they're all making the food, you know?
Yeah.
And so I was like, wow, you guys do this all the time? And they're like, what? No, this is never going to happen ever again. We're exhausted. We didn't even get to talk. The cousins that had to make the food are like, I didn't even get to talk to you like the whole time. I've been deep frying olives.
I didn't get to touch any of the good stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Just getting the leftovers.
That was their food was on that table that I went over and
The
started
Scotch
eating.
egg. The overflow, yeah.
The overflow table was their food.
It's actually the staff's.
Yeah, I was just eating it.
Well, I'm glad I could feed my family. Now time for me to,
So I woke up so phlegmy this morning. 'Cause
Yeah.
of all the food and the Fernet and all that. So that's why I sound like this. I'm so filled with mucus. And that's disgusting, I guess.
No, I'm not grossed out, but I was worried about you because you sound different. So
Yeah.
I just want to make sure you were okay.
Yeah, I'm literally full of so much food and Fernet or Fernet. I'm like,
Ta-ta Renee. Wow.
yeah, so that's my end. And I know I want to kick back to you because you were in my old stomping grounds.
I was.
Richmond, Virginia.
I was in Richmond, Virginia.
Brian Regan. And by the way, you posted the funniest video
Oh, yeah.
Of Brian. What would this say what it was again? It was so funny.
We, do you want the story or you describe the video first?
Whatever can have the bigger payoff.
So we're walking backstage and there's a sign in front of the green room and in giant letters it says Brian Regan and it has a picture of his silhouette. And it's like, okay, this is the green room that we're staying in.
Uh-huh.
And Lisa, Brian's girlfriend, goes, oh, and look at this. And she's like pointing under his name.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, yeah, it says his name. I think that's at every dressing room that we do. So I was like, but she was like looking at me and like laughing. And I'm like, what's going on? I look under Brian's name, and in the smallest font possible is my name.
And it says what? And Steven Rogers? Or
Yeah.
it says...
I think it says and Steven Rogers.
So she must have really good vision.
She didn't even have to put on readers, so she's doing good. So Brian sees that and starts laughing, and I'm laughing. Apparently, Eric, the tour manager, has been making these for all the shows, and it was the first time anyone's seen it
Oh.
because it's so small.
Oh, he was doing it to troll you?
He was doing it to troll me.
Oh my god.
He said he almost made the font a little different shade so you could like even it would blend in with the background.
Oh.
He's been doing it to mess with me. So he's been playing this joke on me. I had no idea until now. I've been working with him for about a year now.
Oh, that's so talk about a slow burn.
Yeah. It was like the Scotch egg. And then Brian goes, "We should do a video with that." And I was like, "Oh my God, that's going to be so funny." And I go, "All right, I'll point at you and then I'll end on the name." And so he riffs this thing about how he's a new comic and he's excited to work with someone on the billing. And then he goes, "I'm excited to work with Steven Rogers." And I go to pan to it and I'm realizing from where I'm standing, you still can't see it. So I had to move as close as possible to my name.
To your font.
And I'm dying laughing, and I'm trying not to get it pick up on the reel, but it's on my Instagram.
It was so funny, and the slow zoom in to reveal because it doesn't look like it at all. It doesn't look like you're involved in that font at all.
No.
Till you have to zoom in super close.
What did you think it was? Because I didn't tell you about it, and you shared it, so I was like, "Oh, this is gold." If he's sharing,
Yeah, it was a surprise.
what did you think? Were you like, "What is he doing? Sharing it?"
Well, I thought the end of it was going to be him promoting the show in Richmond.
Yeah.
So he's like, "I'm Brian Regan. I'm here to have a great supporting act. Steven Rogers. We're going to be here in Richmond, Virginia tonight." I thought that's what it was going. And then it said, and then it just started zooming in on this small name.
Oh, man.
I was like, oh my God. Because then when you see that, you're like, it's funny that Brian thinks it's funny. You know, because he obviously thinks it's funny.
He thought it was hilarious.
And it's just so odd how small it is. It's like one of those things from like Spinal Tap when they're like puppet show and then Spinal Tap. And then the manager, the girlfriend, was like, "I told him, we should get top billing. It should be Spinal Tap and then puppet show."
I've had every comedian reach out to me that I'm friends with and go, "This is the best video I've ever seen."
It's so great.
It's such like it's a joke from someone that actually likes me, which is nice. Eric, the tour manager, but like that's such an opening act thing.
Yeah, it is.
That would happen.
And then I really thought the venue made it, which is even funnier because no one respects the opening comedian.
Nobody.
When you go to a show like that, it's always like, here's the headliner green room, and then here's the opener green room, and it has like a mop and a bucket in it, no mirror. The headliner green room has like, thousands of mirrors and you know, like all these refreshments.
The opener is like, "Hey, can I have some water?" And they're like, "It's in the bucket."
It's in the bucket, yeah. So yeah, you just got to go down to the third aisle and turn on that faucet and then wheel the bucket back, and then you're gonna get your water.
But it was so funny. The shows were really, really great in Richmond. We were in the art district of Richmond.
So that was the rejuvenated business part.
Yeah,
Is now the art district. Yeah,
it's crazy. I must have been sleeping in the parking lot, the place that used to be the parking lot.
it must have been. Yeah, those places used to be like these weird retail stores, like that are now defunct, like Gimbals and stuff.
Right.
Those because they were all storefronts, right? They all had glass.
Yes.
So those used to be like you would walk by and go, "Oh, scarves." And now you walk by and you go, "Oh, a guy hanging upside down in a harness and juggling."
Yeah, with a paintbrush in his mouth,
Paintbrush in his mouth.
just spinning them around.
Yeah.
We stayed at this place called the Quirk Hotel.
Do you remember what street it was on?
I do not.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
It was the same street as the venue. It was a main street.
Okay, yeah. So that was Broad Street.
Probably.
Oh, well, my second dorm was down the street from there.
Wow.
Yeah, it was called Belvedere Street. I don't know. You probably don't remember the streets, right?
I have it in my phone, but I don't remember it right now.
Okay, yeah.
But-
I spent my whole 19 to 20s 3 blocks away from where you were
Wow.
performing.
Well, I gotta say, it was my favorite show of the weekend. Richmond. So,
Richmond was awesome.
Yeah, it's great people, and the theater was unbelievably beautiful.
I saw the pic. Yeah.
Holy crap! And did you have that power company? The
Dominion.
Dominion.
Yeah, we had that.
Yeah.
It's a monopoly. It's the only one.
Okay, I meant to make a joke. Man, you guys have good lighting in here. I guess that makes sense that you guys paid the bill. But here's one of my anxiety things. I have a bunch, but this one relates to what we were just talking about as far as the shows. You know how you do this too. We have a joke about something that's in the room or where we are, and we can't fight but tell it
Right at the beginning.
Right at the beginning, and we even if we know it's not gonna do all that great.
Yeah. I usually have 2. I usually have a backup in case the first one doesn't work, and then sometimes both don't work.
Well, get ready for this one. You couldn't have set me up more better. We do Hershey, Pennsylvania. All right.
Oh.
The Hershey Theater.
Okay, that's in the park, right?
No, but it's like right on the.
It's
like
like
you can see the park from.
Don't you share the parking lot with the amusement park or something?
You can see it from the theater, but it's not in the same. It's not in the park.
Okay.
But so it's called Hershey Theater. So I go on stage, and I'm like so excited to tell these jokes.
Okay.
And I say one of them to Eric early in the day, and he's like, "Really? You're gonna do that?" And
Does anything need to be set up with what the stage looks like or anything to get these jokes?
You just need to know that it's a theater in Hershey, Pennsylvania, which is where they make the chocolate. That's all you need to know.
Okay.
So I come on stage and I'm like, wow, Hershey Theater. This is beautiful. I heard your other theater is filled with almonds.
Oh. Okay. That makes no sense.
The Hershey bar, there's Hershey bar, and then there's Hershey bar with almonds.
Yeah. But there's also like 1,000 other Hershey bars. I don't know.
Well, the most famous. You're having the same reaction the audience did. So
it is confusing because you're picturing like head to toe almonds in a room. Like.
Yeah, sure, but it was also. I thought it was ridiculous enough that it's just funny, but.
Yeah, well, you should have said, oh, the lighting's pretty light. I guess it's the light chocolate theater.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Or it was dark chocolate.
That's really good.
Okay, wait, let's hear the next one.
The next one was, so they have a street called Chocolate Avenue in Hershey, and on the street there's a business called Yoga on Chocolate.
Okay,
but
I was going to say around the corner fudge is made.
And I see Yoga on Chocolate, but I didn't realize it was on Chocolate Ave. So I'm like, wait, they're doing yoga with chocolate? Like, it was so confusing, and it made the driver laugh.
Mm-hmm.
So I said that. I was like, I saw you have a business, Yoga on Chocolate, and I didn't realize that was the name of the street. So for a while, I was like, man, those guys are going to be sticky. And I go, especially if it's hot yoga. It's going to be it's gonna be melted.
Yeah.
And that got that got better laughs, but it was still like, I got nothing on these chocolate jokes.
So you burn those 2.
I burned those 2. I had a third one in the chamber.
Okay, great.
And I'm like, all right.
You know what I do when that happens?
Yeah.
I usually do a joke that, regular set joke, and then I bring the third one in the chamber later.
See, that
because the momentum for these riffing is kind of lost, but you can gain it back, and then
that would have been way smarter. I did not do that.
Okay, so you just unloaded it right away.
I think I even said, well, I got one more chocolate joke, and I'm gonna do it. and I'm laughing. I'm laughing. They already like me because I'm in being present and trying this stuff, but they didn't think. I mean, they've heard every chocolate joke they've ever gonna hear.
Right.
So then I go, when I got my ride, when I got out, the first thing I saw was a Reese's wrapper on the ground, and I go, that's kind of like seeing a shell on the beach. You're like, well, that's probably where it should be.
Oh, that's good.
And that killed.
That's good.
And I was like, all right, we're good. And then I did the set and had a good set. I get off stage and Eric was like, 3 chocolate jokes?
Oh, you're like, only one worked. I had to keep going.
And then Brian, during his set, he's like 25 minutes in or something like that. He goes, oh man, Hershey Theater. It's so what happens when we leave? It melts. And he looks at me because I'm sitting off.
He watched your set?
He watched.
Oh man.
He watched my set. And he goes, I had to get my chocolate joke in. And he's like, Steven did his. I got to get mine in. And it was so funny.
That is so brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, because after 25 minutes, you're like, I guess there's no chocolate riffing anymore. Yeah.
It's like the scary movies when you think the killer's dead.
Yeah, yeah. And then, his eyes open and he sits
hand
up.
comes up.
Right, the hand.
Oh man.
Did he do any more? That was it. The melt.
I think that was the only one. You saw what happened to me.
Oh, he didn't want to push his luck.
yeah. Oh man.
I had this one where I was at a theater on last Saturday in Jersey, and the background was like a sheet that was all wrinkly.
Yeah.
And the person that brought me up, it was one of those things where this woman greets me with a headphone and a microphone.
Yeah.
And when I walk in or whatever, and she's like, yeah, anything you need, let me know. I'm like, oh, I'm good. Oh, maybe a soda. Okay, get him a soda. I was like, wow, this is nice. And second of all,
maybe she's doing the drive-through.
maybe she wasn't even talking to me. I sit down. She's like, "What you want? Fries with that?" And I'm like, "Fries with what?" Drive around.
Oh man.
So then she takes off her. So I'm like, "Oh, who's hosting this?" And then she takes off her headset and goes, "I am."
Oh my God, she's doing it all.
She's doing it all. She's like, "I took a comedy class like a month ago. I think I'm ready for it." I'm like, "Okay."
A theater.
For a theater. For your debut where you know everyone.
Good Lord.
Good Lord. So she typical comedy class thing where she does, like, they all do this thing with a head nod. When you see somebody first doing comedy ever, they kind of head nod after their punchlines and like a chicken, and then they do like
they
this.
just had some Fernet.
Yeah. So while they're doing the punchline, they kind of jiggle their heads, and then they kind of do a thing where they move their hand like this to indicate, like,
Yeah.
so they're like, so my mom is half Greek and I'm full Italian. I don't know. I've seen this multiple times, but she was doing all that.
I'm serving you the punchline.
Yeah, right. Here you go, Scotch egg.
Here's your fries.
Here's your fries. So she, there was another act, and then when she brought him up, she did the thing where they say the name first. So she's like, give it up for Eric Smith. You may have seen him on here and there, and then he does this stuff. He's super funny. Here he is. But then when you have the name last, then you go, he's super funny. You may have seen him here. Andrew Chavone. And then, then it's like, all right, everyone knows. I don't know why
that sentence is over, and that's the person we're going to see.
Right. And then that you remember, oh, that's that guy. You know, like, I don't know what the psychology behind that is. Maybe just like a final thing.
Well, you can say, please welcome. You don't like all the credits. You don't want
all the credits are pretty they're a forgettable thing.
They're forgettable, but when you hear them, they're like little shots of, oh, okay, what I'm gonna see is gonna be good, and then it's like, well, now here's who you're gonna see.
Yeah, you're right. It's like making tension.
Yeah,
like you're winding up a spring.
Yeah,
you may have seen him on Access TV, even though it's over. You may have seen him on the internet, and then you're like, internet, I like that. Kind of gets their heart going.
I get the internet.
And then they're like, you may have seen him on they always name like a super famous show that the comic is just like in the background of.
Oh yeah,
you may have seen him on Boardwalk Empire. Oh my God, is Steve Buscemi coming?
I know a guy that has House of Cards as his credit.
I know that. I know a guy like that too.
And he's riding the escalator in the background.
And that show's been over for like 10 years.
But then, they probably just make it Netflix.
Yeah, it probably just Netflix, yeah. I knew a guy, I think I may have talked about this on a bonus, but he was in Boardwalk Empire. He was just in the background of like they're playing dice.
Yeah.
And he's like, check me out on Boardwalk Empire. I'm like, all right. So there's that dice scene or whatever, and I see him elbow his way to the front of the shop.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And I saw him the next day. I'm like, man, I saw you on Boardwalk Empire. It looked like you tried to wedge your way in. He's like, I did. They yelled at me. But I guess they left the shot in. I don't know.
That's like Chris James on WandaVision.
Oh, right. Where he's just a guy that explodes immediately, but he slows
there
it
for 2 seconds.
But he slowed it down.
Yeah.
He slowed it down for the show, the clip where he's featured.
You see his face.
He's face.
He's in the shot, but I watched that episode and had no idea he was in it, and then saw his clip.
Yeah. You watched it first time, you had no idea.
Oh, man.
He when he posted it online, he slowed it down. It must have been like 30 minus 30 frames a second or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And then he does a comment, so it just shows him explode, and then he goes, "That was me." He inserts himself. He does like another, just so it's longer. He puts himself in the video saying that was him.
That's me right there.
And then did you see he's friends with that?
Yes.
Asif Ali who plays that detective or whatever on the show?
He's like one of the brainwashed people in the show. And because he's talking about his role in it. And then Chris is talking about his role, and then it pans to the guy that has a bigger role.
Yeah, right. And then they started collaborating, and he called himself Blip Guy on whatever the character's name was. They started making videos together because I think they were roommates or they lived.
I think so.
He was crashing on his couch.
Oh man,
it was so funny. But the similar thing happened where, so this was like years ago, where I was like, I saw you on Boardwalk, and then there was a guy who actually had a big role in it, like there, and I didn't know. And then I was like that was so cool to see you on the show, and then the guy who had a role like kind of walked in the room, like walked in the showroom, and he was like, man, that guy actually had a speaking role, you should talk to him. Can't believe you said that right in front of this guy. This guy must be like a big piece of crap. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, but he didn't elbow his way to the front.
He didn't elbow his way dramatically to the front, and I didn't know who he was before the show.
Man.
So yeah, when you say those credits, attention, that must be it. It's like setup, punchline.
Yeah.
Credits are the setup, name is the punchline, and then you come out and you're like, that was me.
Yeah. That was me.
But then when you say the name first and the credits later,
you forget the name.
It just all dribbles out like a mess. So I saw her do that with him, so I'm like, all right, make sure you say, whatever you say, just say my name last. She's like, okay. And then to her credit, she does. But then before she brings me up, when she got off stage after her warm-up act, she's like, I forgot a joke. And I'm like, yeah, me too. I always do that. And then she goes up and says the joke that she forgot, which was whatever. And then I'm like, okay, she got the momentum back. But then she starts talking about the theater because she works there. She's like, we're fundraising now, and we were hurt during COVID, and we're getting our money back. And I'm like, just watching this, and I'm like, all right, as long as my name's last, I don't care about all this info. And then sure enough, she says my name last. I walk up, and then I look at the crowd, and I go, yeah, give it up for her. Yeah, we got to get this theater going. Only $5 left until they can buy an iron. And then I point at the background that's all wrinkly.
Yeah.
Goes nuts.
Yeah! That's great.
And then it was one of those things where I did so well, I buried myself for my real act. I buried myself for like 2 minutes of silence.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was
so fun.
But she set it up perfectly. Where I already had that like written out, but yeah.
That's great. We were another thing that made me a little anxious was we were riding on the bus, and Brian listens to the show,
He still does?
I believe so.
Okay.
We talk about it every time I see him.
Oh, okay. I only thought he listened when he's getting ready to be on it. You know?
We did. You know what we talked about, me and him, was our riff from the first episode when we talk about the caveman comedy club called Farts.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. I got to re-listen to that
Check
one.
out episode 18, I believe, with Brian Regan.
Right.
It's so funny. Anyways, we're riding on the bus to from in the middle of the night from one venue to the next, and Brian is like, "So, how's the podcast going? Do you have your stuff ready for your next episode? What made you anxious?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I got a couple things. I think I'll have some more by the time I see him." And I'm like, "But really, maybe not a lot." And maybe 2 minutes later, the bus the driver slams on the brakes. We don't go to a complete stop or anything, but the bus he hits the brakes. The coffee machine flies into the sink, and me and Brian both scream.
Oh my God.
We're like, ah!
Has this ever happened before?
Never.
Coffee machine never falls into the sink?
Beans are flying everywhere.
Oh my God.
And
they must be Mexican.
Coffee beans.
They're jumping beans.
Oh,
Mexican jumping beans. I don't know. Is that even?
I don't know.
Is that even a thing anymore? I remember when I was a kid, that was like big.
I've never heard of it.
You never heard of it?
No. I just thought you were being racist.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to edit this part out. No, you never see it in cartoons on Looney Tunes. They're like beans that jump up, and I guess like there were these like bugs that lived in them. So when the eggs would hatch, these beans would jump. So
Never.
Oh man, if you remember this, write in, everybody. I'm not. It's not a slur. I swear.
No, I don't think it is.
It's from a place, Mexico.
Yeah.
They're beans.
Are jumping.
And they jump. I'm not using it.
No,
I'm not calling anybody.
I believe you. I'm gonna Google it right now so we have some.
I'm not saying anybody is this. I'm saying this was a product that would be in cartoons, and I think I saw once at a museum or something.
It came up immediately.
Okay.
Mexican jumping beans are seed pods that have been incubated by the larva of a small moth.
Oh yeah. So then they jump. But
wow.
Look up. Is it racist now to say this, or can you verify on Wikipedia? Is there any kind of?
It's definitely not racist because everything I'm scrolling to is about the moth and the bugs.
Oh, nice.
So you're safe.
All right.
You got a live anxiety on the pod.
Okay. Wait. Look up here. Somebody asked, why don't they sell Mexican jumping beans anymore? Is it because it's racist?
Usually available every year in July. It's due to poor weather conditions.
Oh. Okay. So these larvae only come if it's like cicadas, I guess.
Yeah, I think you're good.
Oh, thank God. I just think I guess if you haven't heard of it, it does sound insulting.
And there's our Reddit says it's not racist.
Reddit really said that?
Yes.
What was the exact thing? Seems racist to us. That's what the
seems
topic.
racist to us, and then it's saying it's something that's scientific.
All right, I check out, everyone.
Yeah.
This will be left in the final cut.
I wasn't trying to call you that. I was just.
I know it sounded. I realized how bad it sounded.
When I heard it, I was like, "Whoa!"
Because I would watch these cartoons, and they would have them, and they would use them to do things.
And cartoons, in hindsight, aren't the best. Like some Looney Tunes stuff, you're like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, I know. I watched some of those. I watched a thing, maybe it was on YouTube, about the history of cartoons, and they were originally drawn as minstrel people. That's why they have white gloves.
Yeah.
And that's why, I mean, the guy posited that why all cartoon characters have white gloves, and then somebody commented, well, it's easier to draw them.
Well, that's why. And I found that out too, because there was something about how a lot of cartoons have 4 fingers.
Yeah.
And that is only because it's easier to draw them.
1,000%. Yeah, you cut your productivity up by 25%.
Yeah.
Cutting off one hand, or 20%.
Anyways, so the Mexican jumping beans are going all over the bus.
Oh, that's right. That's where we're at.
We're hollering, and Ed, the driver, has the door slide open because you've been in the bus. There's that slide, like a automatic door between the front of the bus and where we sit, and he opens. He goes, "I just dodged a deer."
Oh.
And what a coincidence that I'm with Brian.
Oh my God.
Talking about the podcast. We almost hit a deer. Episode 2 with Brian.
Part 2.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. Wow. So if you listen to the first Brian Regan Panicking, second Brian Regan, and then this, it's like the Return of the Jedi trilogy.
And then
we go to a bar in a desert with freak people. They don't let the droids in.
And then the next day I start laughing, and Brian's like, "What?" I'm like, "Do you realize that right after you asked me if I had anything for the podcast, we thought we were gonna die?"
And now it's on the pod.
Oh man, yeah. So
that's great.
A couple of my stuff. What's going on with you?
Okay, so there was a theater. I wrote down something. I didn't know we would get this far, but
What do you mean? I have one other thing if you want it.
Okay. Yeah, go one more.
This is a Houston leftover thing. I forgot. So Adam Mueller opened for me in Houston,
Mm-hmm.
and we flew there together, and it was good. Like, he's a good person to be next to on a flight. It wasn't like,
oh, cool.
We had some.
It was like a middle three seat
Two.
thing. Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, but we had some chat time. Then we had some nap time. Right, like work time. It wasn't like someone that wanted to talk the whole time. Like, we both got what we wanted out of a flight. You know how when you fly with someone for the first time, you're like, well, this is a different sort of hang. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, because you see what they're like more as themselves, I guess, because they're just like chilling.
Yeah, like, what's their plane habits?
Yeah, like Maddie, I know, just puts her headphones on and ignores me, and then I'm fine with that. I don't put my headphones on.
So you guys, break up for a flight and then get back together.
I think that's a side effect of also being quarantined for a year and a half.
True.
Where we're like, seeing each other and talking to each other all the time. So we're like, and then like she has her own. It's like pretty much a dream couple's house is the plane. Because
two TVs,
2 headphones, people bringing food. We don't have to argue over who's getting the food.
The only problem is the armrest.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if there could be a living room design like a plane cockpit,
and you would be in heaven.
That'd be great. Yeah, watching my own thing that's weird, and she's watching her girly thing, and.
So we fly there together. It's nice because it's like I've been able to have some friends open for me. And this one, like, Adam has some money, so he could do this one because the opener makes no money.
Oh my God. Yeah, he likes flying for shows.
Yeah. So he flies even when he's in New York. He gets a helicopter.
Yeah. He's got a show by JFK. He just goes to LaGuardia. Flies there.
I'm on tour. I'm gonna be at
Newark,
Hancock, LAX.
I'll be LAX. Yeah. Call it the layover tour.
So we fly there together. It's great. We have a good bunch of shows, and then the day before we leave, I get a notification I've been upgraded. First class, and I'm like, oh man, like, do I cancel that and go back and sit next to him?
No way.
Does it look
that's like a dream?
I'm like rubbing it in.
That's a long flight too, right?
It's a long flight.
It's direct to Houston, you said, or
from Houston to New York.
Oh yeah,
home. And I'm like, do I rub it in his face? And so I asked him if it was okay. I was like, can I do this upgrade thing? You know, can I have a better fly home than you?
Why would he disagree with that? I don't.
Yeah, he immediately was like, no, do it. I've done it to my girlfriend. I'm like,
wow.
Whoa, all right. Well, I feel way better now.
And they're still together,
Yeah.
I guess. He didn't use past tense.
He doesn't have to worry about the armrest. and then I realize, like, he's my friend. We fly. I'm gonna be off the plane so much faster than him, and I gotta wait for him because I can't be like, all right, see it, like, and then he comes past me.
But that's
sits
okay.
behind
That's
me.
okay. You can chill in first class.
So yeah, but I've never. I was talking about this with Brian, like when you, because now I'm flying so much, I'm getting upgraded all the time.
Oh, that's awesome.
I feel weird leaving the person I'm with.
I would
to
never.
go to
I would
first
never not feel weird at all. Be like, peace. This could be you one day. Look to the stars.
If you work a little harder, that's a Seinfeld bit. If you only worked a little harder, I wouldn't have to do this. And then he shuts the curtain.
Oh. You should have watched that on the plane.
Yeah. So that was one of the last things that.
Well, okay, so I got one more thing about that theater with the wrinkly. This is in Haddonfield, New Jersey. Great crew that puts together these South Jersey comedy shows. But the green room was had like 4 doors, like one door to the left, one door to the right, one door in the middle. And I was like, oh, I'm bored here. I'm going to make a video or whatever. So I closed one door, I closed another door, I closed the third door, and I had to move things away to close them. And I'm sitting down, I'm like getting the lighting right, I press play, and then all of a sudden, 2 doors open at once. 2 different people came in at once, and we're like, huh? Or what are you doing in here?
Like they're walking in on a teenager.
And I looked like shocked because I didn't think I checked the hallways and then closed all the doors, and then I was shocked. They were shocked. I'm like sitting like this. And the doors hadn't been closed the whole time, and I'm like, yeah, I just was filming something, and they're like, oh, they don't know what that means. And they're like, all right, well, anyways.
Get out.
Get out. Yeah, we need this room. We're going to put some mannequins in here.
Yeah, we need to open our. We need to put in a 5th door and open it.
We need a storage space. Yeah, so that was funny. And then let me think what else. Oh, man, I wish I could remember the joke I made in the green room. Oh my God, I can't remember it, but the producer was there. His wife came, and I met her before at another show. All the comics are all in the room, and oh my God, I made some joke, and the producer's wife just starts dying laughing.
Hey,
no one else laughed. And then on the ride home, I'm with Emma, her girlfriend, and me. Girlfriend's in the back seat, and then I'm like, she's like, oh my God, that producer's wife was flirting hard with you. I'm like, what?
What?
She's like, she was dying laughing at that one joke. I'm like, I think it's okay just to laugh. And
She's basically, that joke stunk.
I think that joke stunk so bad that the only way somebody could laugh if they were trying to flirt with me was what she was trying to say.
She was able to look back past that horrible joke and just laugh because of how attractive.
Yeah, right. If she wasn't interested in you at all, that should have got zilch.
Because none of us were attracted to you, and we didn't laugh.
Right, yeah. We're not attracted to men, so this totally makes sense to us that this would laugh.
There's no way that was funny. She could only want you.
I was like, wow, I hope the whole audience flirts with me because I had a lot of bombs.
I could use it.
I could use it.
I wish someone thought I was attractive during that chocolate joke.
But I think what it was is, they're all comics. This comedy producer sees a million shows. She's probably not used to somebody making a joke in casual conversation,
I guess.
That's what I think it was. It wasn't obviously not
Was she
flirting.
booking robots?
It wasn't flirting with me because we didn't say another word to each other. All she was laughing at that one joke, and then she was like, "All right, I'll be in the crowd."
Wow.
But they said it. They were
No, it's got to be that she thinks you're hot.
right.
Because
It's
that was the
only
worst joke I've ever
the
heard.
Worst joke I've ever heard. Yeah, super funny. All right, so we're at the we got 10 minutes left. We got to get in these topics. We had so first of all, shout out to Olivia who wrote to us on Gmail. She listened to every episode of the podcast in a week. I don't even know how that's possible.
You get it.
Yeah, because each episode's an hour. So that if you listen to 24, that's a whole day. I guess it can be done in a week.
It can be done in a week, but props to her for wanting to do it.
So yeah, anything on Twitter?
I was going through our mail.
Oh, okay. Well, read the one from Olivia then.
I'm for some reason it signs me out every time. So I'm signing it back in.
Okay, so before we read that, we got Ronnie wrote us on Twitter, said my trip to Houston alone because my kid got sick, so I freaked out and I had a panic attack. Totally worth it though. That was the show to see you.
Yeah.
She drove to Houston to see you, but I guess when on the way her kid got sick. Sending off y'all's gift was stressful because it said wrong address. Uh-oh.
She sent me a gift, and it hasn't come yet, but we did some talking, and it's the right address, so it is
good.
It's sent to me.
Okay, awesome.
And thank you in advance, Ronnie. It was very sweet of you to even do that.
And then she wrote, my kid has been super depressed, and it's making me bummed. Because I don't know what to do. Well, just talk to them and be supportive of them. Give them some hope for a future and figure out what they want to do and encourage that. I mean, I don't know. People seem to be less depressed when they have something to look forward to. So,
yes.
I don't know. So do something like that. That's what would make me happy. Get their mind off of whatever they're depressed about by planning other things and doing other things.
We have so many from people that are just trying to be our website designers, and it made it look like they were submitting topics.
Oh, sneaky.
Here's the email from Olivia. As in the podcast, I finally finished every episode on the podcast, and now I feel 100% accomplished. Now I'm working on all the Patreon episodes. I got a good dent in those as well. You guys literally rock. Thank you for making me laugh daily. Liv.
Oh, wow.
Liv.
Thanks,
amazing.
Liv.
And Liv wrote to us about the concert, and I'm just seeing it now, so I apologize, Liv. But here's her message about the Jonas Brothers concert.
Okay.
The anxiety from seeing the Jonas Brothers was intense. I can't believe you were in the same restaurant as Nick Jonas, Steven, and you didn't even wave. LOL. I'm so jealous. He's my favorite. The concert was absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, our VIP wasn't meet and greets, but it was amazing. We got front row, 2 free drinks, a gift, and lots of special treatment. We made lots of eye contact with the Joe Bros.
The Joe Bros.
So that was amazing. It was nice to have a night out, though, and fangirl. I didn't have that much being a mama to 3, but I will attach a picture of the outfit. Also, Kevin Jonas made a post on Instagram, and the pictures attached one of them of me and my best friend, and we were in them, so that was cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, good. Congrats, Liv.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thanks for the support. There's a post on Reddit we should get into because it's funny.
Let's do it.
So somebody wrote, do you have this issue too? When I talk to people, I often struggle with watching them in the eyes. It makes me uncomfortable to the point that I could go on many minutes without looking at the other person in the eyes. But I kind of force myself to because I don't want the interlocutor to think I'm not listening to them. Well, I had this at my cousins. Like we were there was a moment where you're talking, and I was like, man, we've been making eye contact for a long time. Like,
Are we supposed to kiss?
yeah. It became almost became like an aggressive eye contact standoff.
But I think that's supposed to be supposedly the better form of communication is eye contact. Because every time I drop out of the eye contact and look somewhere, I see them notice. And sometimes they look.
They look at where you're looking.
Where you looked.
I know, and I hate that when I had something on my face and I took, I like scratched my face.
You can't touch your face during a conversation because then they're like.
Then they start doing. They're like, oh, is this some kind of subconscious clue for me? Do I have like a jumping bean?
Yeah, it's like I've tried to keep eye contact, but it is intense.
Sometimes it's like really exhausting. Sometimes it's because it's already exhausting thinking of something to say.
Yeah,
it's exhausting paying attention.
Yeah.
Then you throw in the.
Then I gotta look into their soul.
Then now you gotta look into their soul and. Yeah, there should be some kind of like. One
speed dating bell.
Speed dating bell where the bing. All right, thank God.
I gotta look at your shoes or something.
Yeah. All right, okay. Bing. All right, where were we? It's like a boxing match bell.
Oh God, Coach.
Oh, God.
What do I?
Somebody squirts water in your eyes.
Cut my eyes. I keep seeing.
Cut me, Mick. Yeah, they ding. All right. Oh man, water in the eyes, and then some woman.
They put a towel around just your head.
Put ice packs on your eyes.
Yeah.
And then some woman comes and holds like what number of conversation topic this is? Topic 12.
Day job.
Day job. Topic 10. Hobbies.
Topic 3. Parking.
How was your drive? Oh my God. Yeah, because when you disconnect the eye contact, a lot of times I do it because I'm thinking. Like it's hard to think, like we said on another episode, how it's hard to think if your eyes are just like focused.
Every time I can look at you, and I didn't think about this until this topic came up. I make eye contact with you, no problem. I think we're very close.
Yeah.
So I can do it, but then I'm breaking off right now to think.
Yeah,
so,
right.
I think that's fine, and I think people know that.
Mm-hmm.
There's also like whenever I'm trying to remember something, I look up. I've noticed. Like,
oh, I do that too. Yeah, I look at the side, down, up. Yeah, I look at it all.
Yeah, I'm up when I'm trying to remember. If I'm down, I'm probably in shame.
Shame, yeah, the shameful thinking is down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess the toilet was clogged for a reason.
I guess we'll never find out who did it.
Oh, man, yeah. But it does feel like, and I was thinking about when I was talking to him, it does feel like kind of a wrestling match with your eyes.
Yeah.
Like just locking in with the person. Because it's like who will disconnect first.
Have you ever seen those people that like it looks like if there was a gym for eye contact, they definitely go.
Yeah. And I think it's people who like do like things like that for a living, like salespeople.
Yeah.
They'll like lock you in with a firm,
hi.
They'll lock you in with a firm handshake where it crushes your bones, and then they'll open your eyes and hypnotize you.
Their eyes are tractor beams.
Yeah. Right, yeah. Like sales, public speaking, teachers or something, it'll be like really intense, and you're like, oh my God, I not prepared for this. I haven't been training.
Not interested, thank you.
That's on their resume is the tractor beam eyes. Oh man.
Yeah.
So I wanted to read one review that we got from.
Oh, wonderful!
I actually posted this on our Instagram, but to encourage more coming, well, I wanted to read.
I saw one that made me feel great.
Yeah, so let's read that one. We'll read both of them because we got two recently. So for this one's first from Ryan Rosbiani, a long time.
Oh, love Ryan.
Yeah, he followed me from multiple podcasts that I've done in my life. So he's a true and dear supporter of Andrew and now supporter of Steven.
Yeah, he's so cool.
So he said, love these guys. So funny and informative. Thanks, man. And then, is Liv.
Oh, Liv's on there.
Liv wrote, you guys are really great. I'm glad I'm not the only one who feels anxious all the time about random things. Nice to relate to other people, and I love laughing along. And when I realize how silly things are, keep rocking.
Wow.
So shout out to Liz. And then also I want to shout out Candy Corn. I don't know who
Is that
this
our new sponsor?
Yeah. 'Tis the season. Said, come for the Regan, stay for the infectious laughter.
Oh.
And always bring your own napkins.
Whoa.
Which is just a reference we made. I can't remember.
I'm trying to remember the napkin thing.
Yeah, I don't.
Always bring your own napkins. You ever have to solve something from your own show?
Well, Liv probably knows. She listened to all episodes.
Yeah, Liv, can you go through and find the napkins?
What decipher this candy corn?
Oh man, but the come for the Regan, stay for the laughter. That means we kept them. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's good. That's a compliment to us.
Yeah.
Compliment to Regan too.
Of course, thank you, Regan. I mean, font could be a little bit bigger, but
Does Regan have a candy corn bit? He has to.
you know what's crazy, which is insane that's the name of that commenter, is there's bus decorations, Halloween decorations on the bus right now that are just candy corn.
No way.
And I was joking about it because the decoration is a candy corn with a bite out of it. And I
Uh-huh.
was like, well, and it has a face and hands. And I'm like, the most unrealistic thing about this is there's a bite out of it.
Oh, that's great.
And and Brian and his girlfriend go, we love candy corn.
What? Is that a bit?
No.
What? Maybe it's a regional thing. He's from Florida. I don't know.
Yeah, well, mark them on a map so I know not to go there. Or I can mail my candy corn there.
Yeah, candy corn is just the thing you eat last. You know, like.
I think that was in your uncle's birthday birthday courses.
It was number 20. Candy corn I'll eat. The bottom of my Halloween bag was candy corn and like this Charleston dark chew or something
What?
Oh, so gross. Like the wrapper looked old, like a vintage wrapper.
Geez.
I'm thinking there's Charleston
like
chew.
M&M.
Yeah. There's Charleston chew and then there's this other gross candy. I'll try to put in the description.
I ate so much candy in Hershey.
Oh, nice. Did you go to the park?
I went to the park didn't open before I had to be there for sound check. But all right, cool. Those reviews were great. Please
Yeah, those reviews are great.
keep them coming, everybody, and tell us what the napkins.
Oh, you know what's a funny story I just unlocked about Hershey Park? I think we have like 1 minute
like a
to
video
tell
game.
it. We have 1 minute to tell it.
All right, we got to do the intro too.
Oh, we have to do the intro. Frick. All right. Well, just real quick. So my best friend in second grade was this kid, and I guess he's close to his grandpa, and his grandpa drove us to Hershey Park. And I made some joke in the back. You know, I'm like 9 or 8, 10, and he stops the car, and he turns around and he goes, "No one likes an asshole."
Whoa!
Oh no, he said smart ass.
Oh, that's a world of difference.
Oh yeah. No one likes a smart ass. And I go, oh, okay.
At least you know he wasn't flirting with you.
Yeah, really. All right, everyone. Thanks so much.